You? Hi, excuse me? Yeah, you with the glasses. You're so out of style. Like, how are you trying to look? Are you trying to look like a cop? You kind of look like a cop. What is this, Hot Fuzz? I'm just minding my own business. I like these glasses. What's wrong with these glasses? I thought they were cute for today. They're super out of style. Honestly, you should know better. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marky and today I wanted to talk about something I've been seeing a lot lately. I wanted to talk about trends and personal style. I felt like as of recently this should be talked about. In case you don't know, what is a trend? Well, in fashion, a trend is when a large group of people adopt a particular style. They really like it, um, best way I can say is if everybody suddenly started wearing baby hats. You'd have the first person who is the innovator. They started wearing these hats, and then, people start adopting that. They're like, oh, where'd you get that hat? More people wear these hats, and then it goes into mass production where companies will start to make these hats, bunches of them. And it all contributes to fast fashion. And then, eventually everybody, is wearing these hats, and then a year later, nobody has these hats anymore. That's kind of how trends go. They basically are dictated upon what a particular group of people want to wear at a certain time, and anything can become a trend. For example, a current trend that is really pretty much everywhere I see is platform shoes. Now, this is something I personally really love, so of course I am hopping onto this trend because I think it's really cute. However, the problem with trends is that they contribute to fast fashion. Fast fashion is basically where companies will take all of these trends and they will make huge bulks, so much of, like, as an example, the batty hat. They'll make this hat and they'll make a huge bulk of it, they'll send it to the stores, and then a week later they're like, nah, you know what, let's switch this up, let's do a different trend, and they'll take another trend that is currently cycling through and they'll make a bunch of stuff for that, and it's an endless cycle, and it basically leads to a ton of waste. Not only does it pollute the environment because they're just making all of these clothing and trends and hats. I mean, hats an example, but like, shirts that are trendy, pants, they're going through it so quickly that they're exhausting resources and creating so much waste. The fashion industry is unfortunately one of the most polluting industries in the world. The fashion industry is really bad about that. So fast fashion really just contributes to it. And when you have trends, and they cycle by so fast, like one thing is trending this week and then the next there's something else, it's super harmful for the environment. It's harmful for the countries that are producing this clothing because, this is a whole separate issue because, the fashion industry, they outsource to cheaper countries that don't have the labor laws that we do in America. And it's just creating an even bigger problem. So, yeah. Now, it doesn't mean that trends are particularly a bad thing, but it can lead to bad things. I recently watched a couple videos about, what's trendy, what isn't trendy, and I was really surprised of all the things that these particular YouTubers said that were not trending. And I'm gonna unpack something right here in this video that perhaps other people don't realize. Okay, here we go. Nothing goes out of style. What? What do you mean? We have trends. This is not trendy anymore. This was last year's nail polish. What do you mean? It's trendy this year? No. Trends are a social construct of society. It is ultimately society that decides what is in and what is out. And the thing about it is that, I'm getting ripped because my side part hairstyle is no longer trendy, but this wolf cut that has graced all of us is a direct take from the 1970s, which is way older than the current hairstyle I am, portraying on my head. And so, things kind of come back around. Things that weren't fashionable, 10 years ago are suddenly fashionable today. And that's just how fashion evolves. You take something from the 1970s and you make it new today. You put a little spin on it, something new, and that's just kind of how fashion works. So, this is how I'm going to lead into the second part of my video, and that is personal style. Genuinely, I believe personal style is more important than trends, honestly. Like, why do you want to look like everybody else? Why don't you want to look like you? As a fashion designer, my favorite part of the job is being able to create clothing for people that makes them genuinely happy and feels like themselves. My motto is always that, I'm going to take what's on the inside and show it on the outside. How you're feeling on the inside, let's show it. So that's where personal style comes into play. And personal style is basically your own category of what you like to wear. You see, for an example, I like to wear a lot of bright colors. I love hot pink, it's my favorite color. And I kind of call my personal style Baddie Barbie because it's a little bit edgier than the Barbie we all know and love. On one hand, I have these super sparkly sequin platform high heel shoes. They are my literal favorites. And then on the other spectrum, I've also got combat boots, faux snakeskin. Two very different styles meshed into one. And if you have troubles finding your own personal style, that's okay. Nobody ever taught us how to develop a style for ourselves that we love and we want to wear out, whether it be casual setting, an elegant setting, or you go to a party or a club. Nobody ever taught us how to do that. We've just been taught in society to wear what everybody else is wearing. But you know what? It's way more fun when you have your own style. So, to start us off with step one of figuring out your own personal style, the first thing I do when I'm designing an outfit for somebody is I like to have a concept of what exactly I'm going to make and what am I drawing inspiration from. And when you're trying to find somebody's style, you can do this two different ways. First, you start with either a concept board and then a style board, as I like to call it. The concept board will be a collection of pictures that really represents what the client loves. And this is not fashion at all. This isn't like clothing. This is just random pictures in a color scheme that they like. So here's one for an example. That's my concept board for my personal style. You've got the bright hot pink colors, you've got some cute makeup looks, you've got a pink moon in there, a couple inspirational quotes, and you draw inspiration from that. And then a style board, which is right here. In the fashion industry, we also call them trend boards, but I'm not looking for trends with this particular board. I'm actually just looking at styles that personally I love. I see them and I think that they're attractive and I would like to try them on me. And so those are the styles. And then, once you have that, then you can begin designing. Now, the one thing you should know is you should take in consideration, what do you feel comfortable wearing and what do you not feel comfortable wearing? Is there a particular part of your body that you don't like? Is there a part of your body that you love and you want to really, enhance with clothing? And so these are the kind of things that you need to think of when you want to develop your own personal style. And I believe firmly, as a plus size woman and a plus size designer, that you should be able to wear whatever you want. You want to wear crop tops? Go ahead. You want to wear Daisy Dukes? Go ahead. Wear whatever you want. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, it matters what you think. What I do next is I begin drawing out styles and begin designing the designing process, and the the drawing process is really the blueprints for the rest of the designs that you will be developing. Now, of course, if you're not a designer and you don't want to actually design your own clothing, then you can take your concept board, your style board, and have them in mind when you're going to different stores, different clothing boutiques, and even the thrift store. Honestly, you can find a lot of stuff at the thrift store that you really love, and if you have some sewing skills, you can fix anything you find in the thrift store so it fits you perfectly, or you can make it into something brand new and it's really great for the environment. But if you do want to design your own clothing and you just don't really know where to start, then you begin the drawing process. Now, you can either draw your own fashion figures or find them online, but you begin drawing the clothing that you want. So you have to consider how you would actually make this in real life and make sure that it's actually possible. Now, I like to think that anything is possible, but just make sure you know what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into as you're designing, because sewing is still daunting to me, and I've been sewing for years now. And then after you have a couple designs, such as these, then you have, some concepts, some ideas of what you want to wear. And then you're basically beginning to build your own wardrobe, whether it's designing your own clothing or going to a store and keeping in mind everything that you saw in your concept and your style board. But once you have your drawings, then you can begin to pattern make and actually make the clothing you want. Now, for all of my fellow designers out there, please keep in mind the kind of fabrics that you want to use, because they have so much influence on how the design will come out. And if something doesn't come out the way that you want, that's totally fine, because you know what? It's a learning process, and you're bound to make a couple mistakes before, you ultimately learn how to do something. And that's okay. Don't get frustrated, because let me tell you, I've made so many mistakes, but I've learned from every single one of them. And at the end of the day, it'll just make you a better designer, better fashionista. So I guess that's pretty much it for this video. I didn't really have anything else planned. I didn't create anything because this isn't really about a how to be a designer video. If you want a video like that, please comment down below. We'll do a couple sewing videos. But for today, I think that's pretty much it. It was just a talky video about my opinions and personal style. Really important thing though. So yeah, next time somebody says that to you, well, I'll just give you a skit. Bye! These glasses are ugly. Like, they're so last year. I had a pair last year. They're gone now. Like, they're ugly. And what's with your shirt? We're actually wearing the same shirt. But that's okay if you want to follow the trends. I'd just rather be a trendsetter. Everybody's favorite time. It's bloopers time. Let's see how much Marky messed up today. However, the problem with trends is that they really kind of, they see the people are liking them, they're liking these baddie hats, so they're gonna make a bunch of them, but then they're like, you know what, actually, I'm not really good at explaining fast fashion, I've just realized. What did I go to school for if I can't? Alright, let's try that again. Trend. We're gonna do the trend of this type of hat, because everybody's watching American Horror Story. I don't think I explained that correctly. Okay, one more time. And, personally, I believe that it would be, I'm not gonna put my opinion on it. Platform high heels that I absolutely love. They're my favorites. But yeah, on the other end, I also have, I should have probably brought this all over to myself. This is my life. Fashion is literally my life. Fashion's my life. Like, it's my passion. Ooh, my thing's gonna shut off. Let's try this in a new cut. So you have to think about, kind of engineer. Literally wearing the same shirt. And just because I have personal style and I'm actually contributing to the environment, no. Let's try that again.